What is going on, everybody? Welcome, everybody, into the Overreaction Buffalo Postgame Show, brought to you on the Overreaction Sports Network, powered by Believe. My name is Joe Miller. You can find me on Twitter at Joe Miller Wired, alongside my co-host, Jerry Ostrowski, former Buffalo Bill, and a special sit-in co-host, Jay Spence the King. My fellas, you can find them on Twitter at Ostrowski_Big O and at, oh no, you can't find Jay Spence the King on Twitter currently. Nope. You cannot find him there. So please do us a favor. Please like, please subscribe, whatever platform you are consuming this vidcast on right now. Please do us a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the subscribe button. As Jerry likes to say, please help us get our numbers up. And if you're listening to this in post, please know that you can get all of our content on in podcast form. Go to any podcast platform, type in Overreaction Buff, and it'll all come up. Please like and subscribe from there as well. But we want to just say welcome to everybody in the chat. It's so good to have every single one of you guys joining us right now. Happy Victory Monday to you, Bills Mafia. The 8-2 Buffalo Bills host the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs in Buffalo, New York, with the entire world watching. My understanding is that the entire country got this game, this 425 game. Another beautiful, absolutely beautiful fall day in Western New York. A tough-fought battle that ends with the Bills beating the Chiefs 30-21 on a miraculous run by Josh Allen on 4th and 2, with most of us screaming, kick the field goal from the Chiefs' 26-yard line to go back up by 2 possessions. Then the game officially sealed by an interception from Terrell Bernard. The Buffalo Bills move to 9-2, and they head into the bye week. Again, gentlemen, and Jay Spencer King stepped away just for a moment. Happy Victory Monday, Jerry. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good right now, and I think it's not just the fact that we beat the Chiefs. Okay, I mean I love beating the Chiefs. I love winning games, period. But I look at the big picture, and until we beat them in the playoffs, the mission's not accomplished. But when you look at this game and just how this Buffalo Bills team played, and what they did defensively and what they did offensively, and I know there's still a lot of frustrated people on some things that I want to get into and want to talk about tonight, but
sure.
Just this is what good teams do. They find ways to win against other good teams, and that was what was done tonight. And I thought it was just an outstanding performance by this Bills team, and I'm looking forward to get into it and breaking down the particulars of what happened today in Orchard Park.
Yeah, Jay, Spence, just high level, quick, just kind of like hit us with how you're feeling.
Well, I agree with Jerry. I'm going to back up on him because I feel like, you and I talk on Hump Day often, and I every week I've been talking about how I've been surprised. Like, we're good, and we're 8-2. Now we're 9-2, and we're doing all this stuff, and I didn't expect us to be here. The thing is, I expected Josh to be Josh, but I didn't expect McDermott to be this version of him. And that's the thing that I want to, when you do ask me about what I think, that's the part that I think I have to apologize for and I have to be vocal about. I think McDermott is doing a phenomenal job coaching his team, where everybody thought we would take a step back. And in reality, we're just in the same spot we've been with Diggs, with everybody else. So yeah, I'm very happy, man. Like I'm here. Let's get it.
For me, I did everything I could going into this game, much like all of us, where it's like, this is just another game. This is just another game. It doesn't matter necessarily if we win or we lose. You want to win to stack the dub. Who cares about the opponent? Like, all the things that I felt, and we talked about it on Hump Day, and Jerry, you and I think have been texting about it. And it's just like, this is a game the Bills just need to win. Like, it doesn't matter if it's the Chiefs or it's not the Chiefs. We know the conversation that's going to be had. And I said I was on Zach from Trainwreck invited me on real quick this morning to be on with him and some of the guys. And it's like, the Bills draw you in, right? They just draw you. You enter the game and you're like, it's not going to be that big of a deal. And then they draw you in. And sure enough, they drew us into this one. It was an incredible football game. And I literally went from, as we start to talk about this game, I literally went from, it's a 2-possession game. And I knew Mahomes was going to go right down the field and score, because we've talked about it a lot on this network, that this defense, it very much just accept it. They're going to give up chunk yards between the 30s. They're going to do that. And then the idea is to like squash them right inside the 30, inside the 20. So as the Chiefs go into that second to last drive, I'm like, look, they're going to score here, but make them take 5 minutes, right? Make them take 5.5 minutes. And then ideally the Bills to like get the ball, drive down the field, go up with another touchdown. So I'm going somewhere with all of this. So literally that happens. Mahomes goes down the field. I think it took 5.5 minutes. The Bills get the ball back, and I'm like, gotta have a touchdown. Gotta have a touchdown. It's gotta be. You don't want to give. And Josh Allen spoke about it in the post game. Like you don't want to. That's an ideal situation. I think is how he said it for Pat Mahomes and that team. This is what they do, and he knew. Josh was like, we can't give him the ball back. And then they get to that 4th and 2. And like, sure enough, they're going for it on 4th and 2. And I'm like, kick the field goal.
Yeah.
Kick the field goal. And then Josh Allen just.
Can I jump in here, Big O, before you do?
Yeah, man.
Josh Allen just put on the cape. I mean, it's just.
Well, I'm not going to jump. I'm not going to be in long. It's Sunday Night Football, so I'll be watching and everything. But I did want to say before Jerry, because he beat me up already before we went live. Jerry beat me up. I did want to say on this play that Joe's talking about, like, there's certain moments where I used to be the most vocal person about like, hey, McDermott's not doing the right job, or we got to do something better. I was the loudest guy talking about how he did wrong. The fact is, over the last 5 weeks, McDermott has been doing the most right. And I can't complain the most about him doing wrong when he does right. And he had a moment in this game where I feel like he had a mental blunder or a mental brain fart or whatever you want to call it, where I think he made a bad call, but the rest of the game he had a ton of good calls, and I think it canceled out the bad call he made. And when you talk about, for instance, that play, in my mind, I text you, Joe, you and I were talking, kick a field goal. Why do you not kick a field goal there when your kicker just won a game? Like, I understand. Yeah, you got weeks where he didn't come through, and you got weeks where he just missed an extra point. So you're not confident about him making a 25-yard field goal. I get that. But at the same time, he just won a game for you with a 60-yarder plus. You put your kicker out there and you don't go for it on 4th and 3rd against the Chiefs. I had the same issue going against what was it with the DeMar fake punt? It was like 4th and whatever.
That was last year. I think it was a 4th and 3 play in the playoff game.
I just think the Chiefs are a type of team with the quality of team. You don't go for those type of plays in those moments. That's what I'm saying.
You're potentially not wrong. And the play that you're speaking of was a 4th and I've got it right here. It was a 4th and 3. Where's it at? So Josh Allen shotgun, right intended for Dalton Kincaid. Where were they at? They were on the KC 34-yard line. And effectively, not Josh Allen, but Dalton Kincaid stops his route. So they were not on necessarily the same page. So you can blame Dalton Kincaid. You can blame Josh Allen. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. They didn't connect on a play. They didn't execute it, for lack of a better way of saying it. But it's funny because you like the guts there. And the Bills did end up kicking a field goal at the end of that that sequence of the half. The Chiefs go down, score a touchdown on the Bills. Bills get the ball back, and they execute a 2.5-minute drive, right, to score a field goal. I understand what you're saying. It's tough. I mean, it's you want. We've talked about it a lot on this network as far as you want him to be aggressive, and Jerry's been pointing it out along the way, the whole way. Like, he is coaching completely different than we've ever seen him coach. I think last week, Jerry, didn't we ask? Is it because of comfort? With his like, is it the comfort level that he feels with his coordinators? Like,
yeah, I believe so.
He's just in a different vibe. So you can talk to that, Jerry, if you want.
Well, I think the fact that he's not the D coordinator anymore and he's letting Bobby Babbitt Jr. call the defense, it allows him to do what? Be a head coach, right?
Right.
And if anything, I think a lot of what he did in the past was he had too many irons in the fire. He was trying to he was trying to think about too many things.
Yeah,
what am I going to do call-wise here? How am I going to play this? Oh, by the way, I got to manage the game as well. And he's you can see, I mean, I'm sure he's talking to his coordinators during the game, but there's just not a lot of extra for him right now. But I just want to, real quick, I want to gloss myself. I mean, if you're not watching the Big O show on Thursday, you're missing out, because while I can't tell you how the Bills do in plays where the wind's blowing out of the northeast at a certain mile an hour and the probability that they have positive plays on that and all those things, what I do tell you is pertinent facts and what I see out of this game. And when I got my notes right here, I look at my keys to the game. My first key to the game was KISS, keep it simple, stupid.
Yep.
And I thought the Bills did that on offense. And this is why I'll talk about this a little bit, because I want to get into the people that were going nuts over the running calls on first and second down. And I want to talk a little bit about that. Second point, turn the Chiefs over. and they were 24th in the league in turnover ratio. We turned them over. What is the big thing about turnovers? Well, you get field position most of the time, but the other thing is that's a possession Patrick Mahomes does not have, and that's a big deal. And right off the bat, we do it. Third key was, how do we limit the Chiefs on third down? Number one third down team in the league. They were 50%, I believe. They're at a clip of 52% for the season. We're a little bit better, but we'll talk about that here in a moment, because I thought the Bills flipped the script on the Chiefs and what they did today. You look at the fourth point, Josh Allen against Steve Spagnuolo, the way Spagnuolo likes to blitz, but Josh Allen's numbers against the blitz are extremely good.
Yeah.
And I thought you saw Spagnuolo hesitate a little bit. Didn't probably blitz as much as he has in the past, just because of Josh Allen and what he does against the blitz. And my fifth point, Spence, Andy Reid versus Sean McDermott. And while I still think Andy Reid is a Hall of Fame coach and a superior coach in the NFL, loved him when he was in Philadelphia, I do think McDermott is maturing in his decision-making as far as taking risk. I agree with you. I mean, and what's funny is we disagree on what the type of kick. I probably would have punted it. I don't know if I'd have ran Bass out there at that point in the game, considering he missed the extra point.
Interesting.
But yes, you are correct. That was an iffy call, and then we turned the ball over. But this is what I meant when I said flip the script real quick. When you look at the Chiefs coming into this game, for a 9-0 team in the NFL, in the history of 9-0 teams in the league, their points differential was only plus 58, the worst of any team in the history of 9-0 teams in the league. You look at the Chiefs, they were 6.8 plays per drive, time of possession 33.01 minutes, led in third down conversion, all these stats. And then you look at what the Bills did today, they completely flipped the script. Long drives, 34 minutes in time of possession to the Chiefs 25. Third down conversions over 60%. I think it was like 67%
for the Bills.
So,
for
the Bills.
The Chiefs were 50%, but yes,
right.
Big
so
O.
the Bills beat the Chiefs by playing how the Chiefs have played all season long.
Right.
Can I real quick? I want you to finish, because I think you're cooking. Like, I think you cooking. Like you out here like you a chef tonight. But you mentioned how the Chiefs have outscored their opponents before tonight's game by 58 points for their 9-0 record.
Yeah.
The last 5 games prior to this game, just 5, not the whole season, the Bills outscored their opponents by 61 points in their last 5 games. So I felt confidence going into this game, because I felt like, the way they played for the season as the Chiefs, and then the way the Bills played as the season has kind of gone along, I felt like the Bills could kind of beat them. But my biggest concern was everything you're talking about. And now I feel crazy even saying, like, well, McDermott had a coaching blunder, because I feel like he fixed it. And everything you're talking about, I just think that the Bills, man, like, we did everything we were supposed to do. And to your point, go ahead and give your shameless plug about how dope you are and how every week you tell the right stuff. Because you're right. Big O is right, man. Y'all need to follow and listen to Big O. Go ahead.
But you're also correct. I mean, you would think in that thing, because I'm a huge advocate of what? If you've ever listened to me, I'm a take the points guy. Today, when we went for it on 4th and 2 and Josh makes a miraculous run, it was different. I don't know how you guys felt. I was happy, because I was like, oh, damn, we're going to take the points. You got Nick Sirianni, who goes for it on 4th and 80 every week, right? In Philly.
Right.
And then you got Sean that won't ever go for it. And then today we go for it. And for the first time, as far as being an advocate of take the points, I was like, damn, this is awesome, man. We should be able to get 2 yards. And we did. But no, I do agree with you. Maybe disagree on the type of kick, but I do agree with you on that 4th and 3. And then Josh, of course, throws the pick. He called a terrible decision, throw it. Knox, of course, the route was jacked up, but obviously the Chiefs got points off that.
If we're backing up to that play, the play of the game, the play of the year, probably. I mean, Jim Nantz said it on the call. I did not. I was at the game, so I didn't hear it until afterwards. It's 4th and 2 for the KC 26. There's 2 minutes and 17 seconds left. So, couple things. The Bills kicked the field goal there. You're talking about Patrick Mahomes, who has now better than 2 minutes to go down the field and score a touchdown to beat you. We are having an entirely different conversation what we watched in this game, in that play, in that moment was not what we have seen this year and even a lot of last year. It was very much 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021 Josh, where he gets loose and he's just gone. We have watched more of Josh Allen. So I went through phases in that moment. Like I said earlier, got to have a touchdown, got to have a touchdown, got to have a touchdown. It's 4th and 2. Josh is out there. I'm like, why are you not kicking the field goal? They snap the ball. He goes back, and I'm hopeful because I trust this team. I trust my quarterback. I trust the guys around him. At this point, I trust the coach. Then he starts to take off. And we have seen, I asked you guys about it last week, Jerry, as offensive linemen. Why is Josh getting nailed around the hips immediately all the time? So when he initially took off, I'm going to be honest with you, my level of faith wavered. I was like, ruh-roh. And then he obviously makes his way past the first down marker, relief,
our host.
relief, and then he makes it all the way into the end zone, and then it's elation. The stadium is like losing its mind. But if he gets tackled and they literally don't get that 4th down, Mahomes goes down the field and they kick a field goal. They kick a field goal and potentially win this football game. So it's fun. At the end of the game, and coach said it in his post-game presser, I don't want to talk about results. He didn't want to. They asked him about the decisions he made, which was what we're talking about. He said we made the decisions, I'm paraphrasing, that we needed to make to win this game. He said, but I don't want to talk about the result. He goes, I want to talk about the fact that we made the right decisions. We made the decisions we needed to make. The result was the result.
Well, I'm going to say 2 things. First thing is on the Josh Allen run. You talk about getting hit at the hips right away. Different scenario, 4th and 2. If you watch the Chiefs, we sent 2 to the right flat. That linebacker ran with that receiver or running back or whatever. It was a little different scenario. They were playing heavy pass coverage.
Right.
And guys were moving with receivers, so that room was there. They didn't necessarily have that defined spy inside for Josh. So that was one thing. Listen to this, guys. I think you'll dig this. And this is from Shield Kapadia. I'm probably butchering his name. I apologize, Shield, but he put on Twitter this, and I saved it because I wanted to talk to you guys about it. How rare is it for a team to beat the Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs by more than 8 points?
Oh.
Today was just the 5th time it's happened in his 124 starts.
Wow.
That's 4% occurrence. Today was just the 2nd time it's happened in the last 3 seasons, including the playoffs.
It's happened at least 3 times then in the last 4 years because the Bills did it in 2021, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I'm sure the Bills are the team. Like, I'm sure the Bills are one of the teams that did it the most.
Right. Well, it was the big Dawson Knox game where he got away and had that big long. Right. It was after the AFC Championship game. The Buffalo Bills went to Kansas City and they lumped them. What was it, like 33 to something? Right.
Well. So my issue with that is, and so with Big O's point, he's bringing it up, and then this is gonna be my last point. I'm gonna dip out.
You don't have to dip out. We're not going
to. No, you're going to stay. No,
you
came in. You got to stay.
We're not in. We're not staying for an hour. We're not staying for an hour. We're 15.
Oh, it's a half joint. Okay.
15,
me and Pop watching the Sunday Night Football, and
20.
Okay. Well, I'll stick around.
Yeah.
But my point is like when you watch this and you look at how the teams react to these things, it's like it's tough, and like these are the moments where like I have to as a fan like really give Big O and John Fina props, and other players, because it's one of those times where it's like as a fan, it's like let us be fans and like let us react and let us be upset about whatever the hell is happening, and let us, like, when Josh throws an interception because McDermott calls a play that shouldn't have been called, whatever.
He didn't call the play.
He didn't
call the play.
What? Well, no, I'm not saying he did. I'm more so saying like when fans react a certain way,
right?
Like we feel like, hey, let us react, and then Jerry and John come through with like this wisdom that we didn't ask for, and they're right. Like they're always right. Well, this is one of those moments where I feel like as a fan, I feel like we're both right, like on both sides. That's what I meant. That was the whole point, Joe. I wasn't trying to.
It's gone so well on this show that Joe had to start the aftermath on Monday mornings because we wouldn't let him do that. So he had to have his own show. But we told him he could do it Monday because at least he would then sleep on it and calm the hell down a little bit. and wouldn't be some hot-headed
And
Irishman
you see,
like
he just tried to get me down. Like, wait, no, Spence, no. He was trying to prepare me for you. I was like, wait.
No, listen. My whole entire shtick, if you will, is based on I'm talking to you about how we felt as fans, because Bills Mafia doesn't sit there being like, oh well, like it is what it is. Like we get ridiculous, and then the saying goes, I'm going to talk to you about how I felt on the couch, and then the guys that know football, Jerry and John, are going to tell you what really happened.
I just get mad.
I don't know football.
I'll be honest.
You just nailed the 5 keys to this football game.
I have no idea.
That's the thing. I love those guys, and I know we have a super chat, so I'm gonna shut up real quick. But that's the thing. I get mad because I feel like partially in my mind, and Jerry will tell me I'm stupid. He won't say that because he loves me, but he'll tell me I'm stupid. The thing is, I think I know football. I think I do. When I watch it, I'd be like, they're not gonna do this because that's a dumb decision, and then they do it, and I'm like, that was dumb. Well, but I think Jerry normally tells me, he'll text me and like, Spence, man, you.
Oh, did we lose him?
Tweet.
Oh, no.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Jerry, he keeps me humble, but right. I'm telling you, man, Joe, there's moments as fans where we're right. Fans aren't always wrong. I get former players get the game. They understand the game. Big O, I love you, man. Yeah. You're right. 99.82% of the time, you're right. But that 0.18, that 1.8, when I'm right, Jerry, God damn it, man, I'm gonna get you, man.
I loved you up on your towel. I thought, I loved you up, but it's just like Joe today, right? So we got this Discord channel where you can come in, be a member and talk to us during games, and I'm just waiting for it. I guess it's because I have kids, man. So like Joe understand. Like, you just sit there and you're just waiting there for whatever's going to happen. Something's going to happen. You're going to get hit with something at some point. It's too calm. Things are going too good. Something's got to happen, right? And then all of a sudden,
I jumped in on that. Like I'm around for that,
and I'm waiting for it today. I'm waiting for it, and here it comes. And I knew it was going to be Joe. He goes, "Oh, well, I guess we're just going to go ahead and Andy Reid's going to go ahead and make this the Xavier Worthy game, so we all get mad that we didn't draft Xavier Worthy." I said, "Oh God, no, please."
Listen. Joe Miller, there are receipts. There are receipts that Joe Miller said that the Chiefs are absolutely 100. Could you stop breathing in your microphone, John Fina?
John Fina. It's John Fina. It's not me. I swear to God, it's not me.
It's not me. John Fina, we got
a drunk Italian. The Italian Darth Vader's on. Hello, John.
Literally, I put in the Discord channel during second quarter. This is clearly the Chiefs wanting to make a statement that the Bills made a mistake letting them get trade out and letting them get Xavier Worthy. It was also mentioned post game by Shope and the Bulldog. I just want everybody to know that. So I wasn't the only one that said it.
Validated.
And then I had an aneurysm and I passed out.
Here we go. So we got a super chat from the Pullout King. Super chat, Pullout King. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
I still love his
Let's
name.
go. He says, just got back from the stadium. What a game. However, every Chiefs fan said, beat us, see us in the playoffs. And that's the bottom line. We'll have to do it in the playoffs, but a good win. So I got one of my best friends lives in Lee Summit, Missouri. Not the biggest football fan in the world, but clearly he texts me, you must be like walking on cloud nine. I'm like, we beat the Chiefs during the regular season all the time. Like, we need to do this in the playoffs, which is a whole.
You got to understand, I'm in freaking Chiefs territory down here.
Yes,
so
you are.
You want to talk about somebody talking their shit tomorrow? It's already happened. I will be wearing my victory. I'm trying to figure out how to get my Josh Allen jersey approved to wear over my scrubs when I go into the OR tomorrow.
Jerry, what's the gift? Jerry walking into the OR tomorrow?
Oh yeah, dude. There ain't no doubt. There ain't gonna be no doubt.
I'll tell you why I think this game was super important. Is we were down weapons on offense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Spencer Brown is down. Dalton Kincaid was down. We're down Keon Coleman. I think that's a big deal.
And then he freezes. Oh, there. Okay. Are you back?
Well, I'm back.
Okay.
But he's talking the real.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep talking that talk, John.
Keep talking
that talk.
But what I'm saying is, with the importance of it, is taking these different parts that we have of this team that we've cobbled together And now we're figuring out ways to win with whoever the hell shows up. And we're feeling some pretty damn big degree of confidence with the fellas that we put in the jersey and put out on the field to execute a game plan and strategy. That's why I think this game was huge.
Can I ask one question to the offensive lineman that's part of this chat? Because to me, this is something that bugs me recently, the last 3 weeks.
Go.
So our best offensive lineman is Deion Dawkins, right? Well, we all agreed that he's our best offensive lineman.
He drives John Fina a little bit mad at times with his footwork, but yes, I think he's an enigma to John. He's an enigma to John, but yes.
I would say, yeah, I mean, arguably, sure.
Yeah. John is a technician. John is a technician.
I just feel like recently his antics, and so different games are different antics. So Jets games, I think his personality was a bit too much. Like he was being, he got a couple, penalties, like 15-yard penalties, because he wanted to kind of argue with guys that shouldn't have been argued with. He's tackling guys and doing all stuff. And then to games like today, he's doing things. And I just think as an offensive lineman, your left tackle, he's, to me, in my mind, I know the center kind of is the leader. But in my mind, in today's game, the left tackle is. Are we getting to a point where, okay, yeah, we get it, Deion, you're great and you protect Josh, but you got to relax, man. Are we getting to that point, or am I stepping too far in saying like, okay, things are annoying me?
No, I brought this up a few weeks ago during the Jets game. At some point, it's going to hurt the football team. And you gotta. I mean, I'm all about doing your deal, and I like guys that play on with an edge. But the only dudes that know, the dudes that tell you that they play on the edge, the only dudes that really know where the edge is are the ones that go over, right? So we don't want him to go over and cost the team as far as penalties and stuff. But
yeah, but Jerry, you were that guy though, right? I mean, for 9 years as an offensive lineman for the Buffalo Bills, you were the guy you were the tough guy, were you not?
No, I was soft.
No, and I'm going to disagree.
I was a opportunistic sniper. Would be more of the
yes, that is absolutely true. And I will disagree a little bit on this with what you said, Spence, because when Jerry and I played, we had Jim, we had Thurman, right, and we had Kent Hull, and we had we had a steady stream of really strong leaders, vocal leaders. And I think there's an absence of this at the running back position. Nobody has really stepped forward vocally, more or less, at the wide receiver position. And I don't think you'll see it out of Kincaid or Knox. So I think that is his role. And it might hurt every now and again, and it has. And Spencer Brown isn't entirely different than Deion either. But I think you need those personalities, because if it doesn't cause a penalty, when the time is needed, somebody vocally needs to step up. Reuben Brown did it in our group, right? And occasionally it didn't cost us in the unsportsmanlike conduct category, only in the holding category. I love Reuben, but my God,
he was a holder,
like a taxi cab half the time.
And John would get into a verbal debate with people, and he would just, they would be
bore them to death,
with his
Jerry.
vocabulary.
That was me. I wanted to bore them to death.
There is I don't know why we're talking about this, but there's a chasm between the John Fina that I know today, that is like the nicest man that I know, like beautifully thoughtful, sends me gifts and cards, and like attractive, beautiful blue eyes. Just this hang on a second, this amazing human, and then it's like John was mean and really big once. Like I don't understand.
Joe,
there it is.
He and his daughter sent me. She graduated from Florida State University. She got her master's degree. First of all, shout out to Mimi. Fina is like one of the greatest human beings in the world.
Exactly.
Hey, Mimi, you're getting a shout out on the show.
Shout out to Mimi. Yeah, shout out to Mimi. She's awesome. But I just want you to know, John Fina and Mimi, like this is the people they are. Like they're nice. They do amazing things, and then he's the guy.
Maybe it's atonement.
And I'm sitting over here watching John play checkers, and y'all are chess, and y'all are playing checkers as he's playing all your asses, and I'm just laughing my ass off over here.
He's over here like he's just like the most violent guy on the field.
No, John is genuinely very, very nice. He is one of the
nicest words for you, Gary. Remember this one? I got 3 words for you. Yeah. Hell no.
So literally, I get this card in the mail from John Fina a couple years back, and it says Fina, and it's got the Bill swoosh through the center of it for the F. And I'm just like, this card is amazing. And I called him and thanked him. And I was like, when did you get these made up? He goes, oh, they were made up by the Bills my rookie season. I've got like 4 left. I sent you one. And I was like, what? You sent me
where's
one?
Mine? First of all, where's mine? Where's mine? That's all I want to know.
So anyways, John's either leaving or he's going to get one to show us.
He's going to get one to write on it and send it.
Send it to me. I'll drive and pick it up, John. Just let me know. I'll come pick it up when you tell me.
All right, let's get back in the game.
I can't find it.
Our viewership is plummeting as we speak.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I ruined this. See, this is why you can't invite me on. I ruined the night.
Oh no, this is just fun. Gold. But getting back to this football game before we get into stats and whatnot else, I mean, where would you label this? Is this a must win for the Bills? You've got it in the now that it's over. Was this a must win for the Buffalo Bills?
Confidence wise, yes. In reality, no. Mental state, confidence wise, a younger team. There's some vet guys, but the nuclear is a lot of young dudes. Confidence wise, it was a 100% must win, and they got what they needed, and now they get to hang on to it for another extra week with the bye week to take them in a good mood and good energy into the next to the San Fran game.
Yeah, see, that's how I feel because
I agree with that, and then just inserting my point from before. Just a team that's been cobbled together that everybody thought would go 6-11 this year, that we can just evolve week to week, come out with an efficient game plan, stick to that game plan and win.
But let's talk about, sorry, Spence. There it is. That's the card. But let's talk about the cobbling of the players together. First of all, Khalil Shakir, the dude, I don't know what planet he came from.
Give me my props. Give me my props.
And it's not like it was 10 receptions, right? His rookie season, and then like coming into his second year, it was like, oh my God, he's the man. And it's like, and then his second year, he didn't exactly light up the scoreboard to then come into Buffalo this year as the only receiver returning. And it's not like he had 80 receptions the year before. The Bills, and we need to probably talk about the fact that like Curtis Samuel with Keon Coleman out of the lineup is the ball is finding him, right? So this isn't a Curtis Samuel has a problem situation. This is the Bills weren't scheming him in positions or ways to get him the football. And then the move for Amari Cooper, that first catch, I mean, what a brilliant throw. As much as Josh Allen, misses Quentin Morris across the middle on a sure touchdown, throws the ball 10 yards short. The ball he throws to Amari Cooper on the first drive I think it was the first pass of the game for him, was unbelievable. But
Joe, can I interrupt real quick? Because the only reason why I'm gonna disagree on even minimal, because I think you're right about like 98%. The only thing I think you're wrong about is I think this is the Curtis Samuel we would have seen if he was healthy. I really think that we're starting to see Samuel finally start to get help. That toe turf, I said, or turf toe, whatever it's called. I don't know what the injury is. I said this back in the middle, like in the summer when you and I did hump day, and I'm like, look, this is one of those injuries that lingers until week 8, week 9. And then you start to see guys week 12 start to do things, and they have 5 receptions for 100 yards, or they have 9 receptions for 80, and you start to see them do things that you expected, and you're like, wait, where was this guy week 1 through 5? This is because I think that an injury like that, it matters, it lingers. And I think now we're starting to see. So I'm hoping that when Keon comes back, and then when you have the full wide receiver room, I think we should be in a position that we should be healthy enough to compete with any of these guys in the playoffs.
And I think
worst injury I ever had. Bye, Spence.
I think Spence is 100% correct on that with the injury.
You're muted, bro.
No, I'm not.
You're muted.
No, I'm not.
No, Spence is muted.
I'm not. It's okay. I did it on purpose. I'm okay.
Oh, okay.
No, I think he's 100% correct with the injury thing. And then the other thing is this. I mean, the way he's showing what he can do when we give him the different route tree and not running the little orbits and the flat route every time he's out there, I think it probably makes the Bills not have to rush Keon Coleman back.
Right.
And when he does come back, maybe he's a little bit more limited because Samuel's now emerged. You know what I mean? I think
right.
Samuel, like that catch he made for the touchdown, had made the guys miss. I mean, that was exceptional. That was world class. So, I talked about that a couple weeks ago. I think that him coming forward, doing everything, not just the gimmick stuff, is huge for Buffalo.
So I'm going to jump over to the stats here to keep the show moving along. Spence, I don't want to keep you from your grandfather. If you want to jump out, you can now.
We good. I love y'all. I'm gonna just let you know. Me and Pop sitting here. He actually watching us. Like I got us on the TV. So he watching. He chilling. So we about to kick out and watch the game. I love y'all, John. I'm happy you kicked in. I always love the opportunity to tell you how much I love you. I love you, man. And
love
Big O, I love you, bro. Y'all have a great night.
There's still enough season left. We got to watch a game together.
You know what? I just told Joe, I said, you know what? John invited me to his home and I haven't been there yet. And I got to fix that. So when we get off of this, when you're done tonight, we're going to figure that. Honestly, God, we're going to figure that out and we're going to fix it because there's no reason why you invite me to your home and I haven't been there yet because I got to do better. So I'm going to do better.
Before you dip out, and my wife always goes crazy because I invite everybody over. You're welcome for Thanksgiving. I'd love to have you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, my parents are coming into town for Thanksgiving, so I won't do that. But we'll. I know. But I promise you, we're gonna make it happen. I literally, what Joe will tell you, we just had this conversation like 2 days ago, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it because I don't want to miss the opportunity to really, Joe. I'm sure you don't give that out to most people, so I want to make sure I take advantage of it.
Actually, I'll put John's address in the chat right now. So
all right, I love y'all. Y'all have a good night.
It's already out there. Take care, Spence.
See you, bro. Love you.
No, Joe, it's already out there. I get freaking fan mail at home, and I'm like, how do people know where I live? Forget it. I could see cars I've forgotten I owned. Like I'm an owner of a 1992 Burgundy Bronco. I forgot I owned that car.
That's hysterical. All right, getting into the stats of this football game. The Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, 27 of 40 for 262. One touchdown, one interception. He obviously had the rushing touchdown as well. Josh Allen rushing led the day, 12 of 55 for 4.6. I think one of the big surprises for me for this football game was, and the Bills Chiefs games always never, is that the right way to say that? Always never go the way you think they're going to go. We all felt, every media person, all the shows, except for probably Kurt Warner, who thought that the Bills were going to win. Josh Allen was going to throw for 4 touchdowns. Everybody else that I saw talk about this football game locally, nationally, whatever, was like, nobody's going to show anything. Both teams are going to grind it out on the ground. They're going to run the ball because they pretty much expect to see each other at the end of the season. So it's going to be a predictable defensive running football game. And meanwhile, Josh Allen throws the ball 40 times. Pat Mahomes throws it 33 times. There were times in this game where both teams abandoned the run almost completely. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that or what, but I mean.
Yeah, I do. I want to make a point. First of all, Kansas City was giving up 83.2 yards per game rushing, so we were well over that. And obviously, a big part of that is Josh Allen.
Only because of Josh Allen. Without Josh Allen, they've got 38, 49 yards.
Okay.
Yeah, but to be fair to Jerry, he's always been part of our game plan for the run.
Thank you.
True.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. But for the crowd, i.e. Joe, that complain about first and second down runs and that why are we running the ball at first down? Why are we running the ball at second down? Well, here's why. All right, and this is just something I want to get into and reiterate once again, and John has talked about this in the past. Mm-hmm. And this is something John talked about before. One thing about our running game, maybe we're not running off big chunk plays every time we run on first and second down. We rarely have runs that lose yards. Mm-hmm. And today we only had a couple again.
Correct.
So if you look at the Bills' passing offense, what they're trying to do, we're not going to run 4 verticals, folks. We're not going to air it out. So we have to get in position to be successful on third down with what we're good at. Shakir running, run after the catch. Some of the stuff we throw in the flats, the tight end game and all that stuff. So if we run for 2 yards on first down If we run for 2 yards on second down, guess what? It's 3rd and 6. That's highly manageable, and that opens up a huge playbook for Joe Brady to call. If we're 3rd and 10 or more because we got a holding call because of pass pro or something like that, that really puts the Bills team in a bind. And if you haven't heard with the mantra at One Bills Drive, that is complimentary football. That's complimentary football.
So Joe Miller, in his defense, was sitting in the stands today screaming for them to run the football more, even when it wasn't going well. However, Joe Miller, devil's advocate, would tell you that the Buffalo Bills ran the ball for 49 yards, 19 times for a whole 2.5 yards per carry. So as much as they didn't lose a bunch of yards, they had more than one hand of no gainers.
But it's a lot. Go ahead, Joe or John.
Yeah, and just dovetailing on what Jerry said to finish his point from earlier when I was listening to the show, we wanted to control the clock, and running the ball on 1st and 10, while it wasn't successful, and I kept thinking, where's the little bit more play action on 1st and 10? What we did do was we retained possession. There was such a high level of confidence that we were going to convert 3rd downs, whether they were 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. I mean, that was what was giving me heart palpitations. I kept saying, stick with the run. It's going to break. And it never broke. But the team just rallied.
And a big part of no sacks with a guy playing right tackle that hadn't played all season long and did a hell of a job is because you're 3rd and 6 or less. The ball's getting out. The routes are shorter. There's less time for defensive linemen to get to the backs, to get to the quarterback. So it all goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
And, I thought they did a hell of a job controlling things. And like I said, they flipped the script today.
Yeah, if there's flip the script. If there's an upside down stat for this football game, it's the fact that the Bills, in many instances, were behind the sticks, right? 3rd and long, came out at 60%, above 60% in 3rd down completions. And it felt like the Chiefs, by and large, were in 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3 a lot. Right? And the Bills still would force 3 and outs. The whole 3rd quarter practically was just a punt game where both teams was just punting the ball back and forth to each other. So that's a very interesting stat. As much as this game, football in general, a lot of times we'll take on things like that where one team will run up 500 yards on offense and lose the football game to a team that only had 300 yards on offense. This to me is one of those stats where it's like the Bills were behind the chains a lot and came out on top against a team that was in front of the sticks a lot and still had to punt a bunch. But getting back into these stats, Khalil Shakir led the way, 8 receptions for 70 yards. The dude is just slippery and is a yak machine. I don't know how to say it any other way than that. Curtis Samuel, 5 for 58 with a touchdown. My dad felt like he was surprised when the ball hit him. That he kind of had the reaction, like, oh my God, the ball hit me. And then he turned around and there was nobody there. So he just ran into the end zone. So I thought that was a fun little thing for my father there. Amari Cooper, 2 for 55. So let's talk about that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So 7 pass receivers and he targeted 9. Dawson Knox 4 for 40, had a pretty good game. Matt Collins came up with a huge 3rd down catch, right? In this game, if I'm not mistaken, 2 for 27. James Cook 5 for 7. And then Zach Davidson 1 for 5. Defensively speaking, Terrell Bernard had the interception. He also had a sack. Taylor Rapp had the first interception. And then I think we only had 2 sacks. Von Miller also got credited with a full sack, at least right now. They'll probably potentially change that because there was another defensive player kind of coming across the top at the same time.
And he should buy Greg Rousseau a dilly bar because Greg Rousseau put him into Von Miller's path.
Right. And with that sack, Von Miller broke. He passed the great Derek Thomas on the all-time sack list. So,
which must be why he was dropping F-bombs in his post-game presser, right, Jerry?
He was pretty excited.
Yes, he was. Loves his team, loves his quarterback, and loves a whole bunch of other stuff in Buffalo. Patrick Mahomes, 23 of 33. So what's that? A perfect 66% for 196 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Kareem Hunt, 14 for 60 yards. Kareem Hunt looked good in this football game, I felt. 4.3 average. Mecole Hardman had the dude. It just seems like in the NFL, the jet sweep is a thing of the past. Does it not feel that way? Like when the Bills were running the jet sweep in 2020, 2019, 2021, everybody was running the jet sweep and it was like a big play. And now it just seems like one of those plays that's gone out the window. And of course, they run it one time and get 9 yards. I was kind of miffed about that. I don't know if you guys even.
Well, it's because of how we play defense.
Oh,
You
gotcha.
know, your cornerbacks are bailing for cover 2. That's a big void over there.
Gotcha.
That's right.
Gotcha.
That's right.
Xavier Worthy 1 for 7 rushing. Carson Steele 1 for 2. It was actually a big, I think, 3rd or 4th down pickup he had. Receiving, Xavier Worthy 4 for 61 with a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins 3 of 29. That the one ball that they called back, I thought he caught, but the ball just sticks to the man. Like, he's a good wide receiver. Justin Watson 2 for 26. Noah Gray 4. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He completed passes to 11 different players.
Yeah. And what, 4 of them were tight ends?
Yeah, but it's just, and like the leading one was Noah Gray, right? 4 for 23 for 2 touchdowns. Leading meaning like the most important. But yeah, like 11 people. So real quick on the team stats. Total yards, the Chiefs 259, the Bills 366. Passing yards 181 for the Chiefs, obviously minus the sacks. 262 for the Bills. Rushing yards 78 to 104 for the Bills. Yards per play 5 versus 5.2. First downs 19, and the Bills had 24. Third down efficiency we talked about. Fourth down efficiency 0 for 1. The Bills were 1 for 2. And then total plays 71 to 52. And then yada yada, just stuff in here as far as that goes. Time of possession is probably the big thing. 25. I think Jerry, you mentioned it, 26 minutes. And to the Bills 34 minutes. Yeah, all in all, a sound football game, right? As far as what we're talking about.
No, incredibly
a slugfest.
It was a slugfest. The funny part, the interesting thing for me. Go ahead. Yep.
Were you guys a little miffed that the Kansas City Chiefs didn't run the ball more?
Miffed? I was thankful.
I was thankful too, because I felt the Chiefs should have ran the ball. I think Hunt was heated up. I think Hunt should have ran the ball. I think it should have handed it off more. Now, I don't know how much RPO stuff they got. So maybe it was built in, but man, I'd have been running him because he was having success.
To your point, Jerry, if you had asked me when the game ended, how many yards did he have? I would have said he was closing in on 80 or 90. It just looked successful nearly every time he carried the ball. And in our larger point about our beloved Buffalo Bills, the first half, I thought, oh my God, we're in trouble, right? I mean, they were chunk playing. Xavier Worthy was catching the ball. They're running effectively. They were in 3rd and short a lot. And again, like I said on my show last week, or our show, Postgame, I still want to be the guys that play better in the second half. And it's still held true yet again.
So that was the thing, like specifically. So they were in front of the sticks in the third quarter as well. And what I was about to say was just that third quarter for me, it just felt like it was a punt. It was a punt fest. I didn't when the Bills would punt the ball to the Chiefs, I wasn't in a panic mode. I felt like the defense they were ready to play, if that makes any sense. This is a really cool comment from Mark Hughes. Mark, thank you so much for the comment. He says, love you guys also. He's talking about you two. Can't help but feel nostalgic watching and listening to you all. Watched every game back in the day, 1988 and onwards. Well, it would be 1991 and onwards for these two guys, but yes, starting when John joined the team. But that's a pretty cool little comment there for you two fellas.
1992, the last time the Bills were 9-2.
92. Was it 92 the last time they were?
I saw that somewhere. I didn't fact check
John's
it, but
right.
I almost fell off my chair. Like, oh my God, I'm old. I'm old as hell.
That's amazing. Yeah, so those are the stats for this football game. And then the only thing left are the Dude Awards. The Dude Awards. So who wants to go first for the Dude Awards?
I'll go first.
All right, you go first, Jerry.
And there's some obvious ones, and you know me, I usually go with something that's a little bit different than the obvious. But we talked about it last week. We talked about it the week before that. We talked about it seemed that our defensive line had an inability to put pressure on the quarterback. Our defensive line wasn't playing the run very well. They make the acquisitions of Phillips and Jefferson, and all of a sudden, I don't know if it's because they're leadership or what it is, or, you could talk about Ed Oliver getting healthy again. But my Dude Award goes to the D line in general. I thought they played really, really well today. You want to talk about huge numbers, not incredibly huge numbers, but like AJ Epinesa, 4 total tackles, had that really, really big time pass defended on the SWAT. Austin Johnson showed up with 3 tackles. Vaughn had 2 tackles with a sack. Tackle for loss. Daquan had had 2 tackles and then a quarterback pressure or quarterback hit. You go down, Hill had 2, Ed Oliver 1 with the quarterback hit, Jordan Phillips. I mean, just across the board. Then Rousseau didn't register any tackles, but he hit the quarterback multiple times. My dude award goes to the D-line because it's quite obvious when Mr. Mahomes is not on time. I know he can scramble and stuff, but when he's got bodies around him, it's a lot harder for him, and we put pressure on him today, and that was a big thing for as far as a key for our victory. So D-line, dude award.
Very good. Yeah, I think it was. Did you mention the pressure rate? I thought I saw on Twitter 60 or 67% from the front
big
four.
Time.
Yeah, big time. I'm going to go next, John Fina. I'm going to go with the obvious. I have said many times this year that I don't give a crap about the MVP. Like, I don't give a crap about that award. If you want to talk about MVP, become the MVP in the Super Bowl when you win the Super Bowl. My dude award is going to go to Josh Allen today because that run was stupid. In that moment, in this game, right? Everything that's happening, obviously it's in front of our crowd, but that was just a ridiculous put the world on your back and just gut it out and make it was a ridiculous moment to me. So as much as Josh is that dude, and we don't normally give Josh the dude award, Josh is getting my dude award in this football game because that was the crowd, the chants from the crowd. It's one thing to hear, and I know that you guys don't get to go to as many games as I get to go to. There's always the section here or there, MVP, whatever. The 72,000 people when that touchdown happens in unison, like shouting MVP. It was, I think I had goosebumps afterwards. Like it was something to watch. It was incredible.
Well, the last run I saw him make like that was that big that I was at the game 2 years ago in Saturday night when we were playing Miami in the snow, and that big run he made.
Yep.
And just you feel the electricity when it happens. It's pretty special.
Yeah, for sure. So he's my dude award. So John?
No, I'm not a big stats guy. I'm not a big math guy. And I know the word was the game doesn't matter, right? But games matter. But you know who it really mattered to? A guy that was thrown into the breach and substituted for Spencer Brown, Ryan Vandermark. And I haven't digested the film yet, but that's a big game. That is a big game for Vandermark. And I will say I have not been the biggest fan. I was kind of surprised he made the roster. I am hugely impressed. Going into this game, maybe the stakes weren't big mathematically or statistically or for the playoff implications, but it mattered to him, and he had a hell of a lot to prove. Without having digested the film, I will still say I didn't have to say, damn, we missed Spencer Brown, and that is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was monstrous, and I was laughing because when Dawkins went out for the play and they brought I can't pronounce his last name.
Garage. Richard Garage.
And they moved Vandermark over the left tackle, and they ran up the middle, and everybody's going, "Why did you run up the middle?" Well, if you watch that play, Garage barely was out of his stance. The dude that he was supposed to block made the tackle. That's why they weren't putting Josh in harm's way, because at that point they probably already figured out we're going to run him up the middle and hopefully not lose any yards, and then we're going to go for it when we get Dion back in the game. But quick,
Jerry,
go ahead.
Describe to Joe what it's like when you're standing on the sideline for 3 quarters, and when you're 320 pounds, all your erectors in your lower back are like steel rods.
Wait.
You are stuck, and then they're like, "Get in there!" And you're like,
literally, Dion is on the ground, and it's there. Whatever's happening, and I look up, and like I see 2 players like over on the Bills sideline, but they're in the field, like. And they do 1 rep. So literally they just do 1 rep, and then he runs. I was like, 1? You do 1 rep?
I can't remember what coach it was. You'd be like, "Coach, I got to warm up." Does a dog got to warm up before he chases a car? Just shake a little bit and get out there. So yeah, I actually had that happen to me in Miami. It's interesting. Yeah, it's not
at least in Miami it's like 100 degrees and 70% humidity. It's easier to stay loose, but you're like, oh my God, I haven't used these muscles for like 18 hours.
So it's one off. It's off the first hole of the tee, like the first tee, right? It's like swinging up.
And
like,
you don't get a breakfast ball. You don't get a mulligan.
Yeah.
But and then I want to say this one real quick, and obviously we could say it's honorable mention, but we got to talk about it. There's only 3 of us, so I'll pick this dude award for Spence. Terrell Bernard still is obviously just that guy. I mean, leader of the defense, 8 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception, tackle for loss, quarterback hits, passes defended. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, he is he's borderline him as well.
Yes.
It's going to be great to see, hopefully after the bye, him and Matt Milano back together. And it's funny, unsung hero award potentially goes out to Dorian Williams, who I think is leading this team in tackles. As much as he's as much as he's received a bit of smoke from fans and from the local media about potentially being out of position at times, he has done an admirable job as far as that goes. So yeah, definitely we could probably throw a seasonal dude award out there for Dorian Williams. Before I get us out of here, any other things from you gentlemen?
I got to tell you, man, when I played and that bye week was coming, I had a great big exhale. And what perfect timing. What do you think? I'm like, yeah, baby, we all could use it.
Make sure you keep all your cans and bottles, boys, because they're 10 cents a pop. That's all I got to tell you.
So the Buffalo Bills head to their bye week. They are off next week for Thanksgiving weekend. So Buffalo Bills Mafia gets the opportunity to watch 3 games on Thanksgiving, and we just get to enjoy not only a full slate of NFL football games, but we get to enjoy the fact that we are going through them, having come off a Buffalo Bills defeat of the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. So enjoy Victory Monday tomorrow. Happy Victory Monday to everybody that can hear my voice and can hear our voices. What do we got tomorrow, Monday? The Aftermath show will be sometime between 10 and 11 o'clock tomorrow with myself, AM. 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, the Off Tackle with John Fina show. Tuesday is going to be, who do I have for Tuesday? Do you guys know? Tuesday is the On the Beat program, and I think we've got Ryan Talbot. Yes, Ryan Talbot will be on with me this Tuesday, or us with this Tuesday. And then Wednesday, the Humpty Hotline, and then Thursday the Big O Show. Jerry, what are you going to do this week for because Thanksgiving's not this weekend, right?
Jerry, you got to do a food prep episode. You got to talk menu, baby.
Well, you know what? I could go ahead and go over my Cajun jambalaya stuffed turkey that I'm going to make for Thanksgiving. That I made last year, and I knew it was good because my kids aren't big turkey dudes, and they were like, "Hey, man, you're making that again." So. Maybe I'll go over that recipe, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. Why am I
confused about the schedule? So the Buffalo Bills played today.
Because you're Joe?
Because I'm Joe, right? The 17th. Yeah. And then they're off next weekend. They play again on December 1st. So I'm wrong. So we're off this weekend. We're off Thanksgiving. And then it's the following weekend, December 1st, that we play the San Francisco 49ers.
I think what you meant was we get to have a relaxed Thanksgiving.
Yes, that is what I was trying to say. So I apologize. I have my dates a little messed up there. But for ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for for tuning into the Overreaction post-game show on the Overreaction Sports Network, powered by Believe. It is so good to have every single one of you guys. Do us a favor, please please subscribe if you're joining us late on YouTube or on Facebook or Twitter. Find any of our content in podcast form. Just search any podcast platform, Overreaction Buff. You'll find us, as well as on all social media platforms, Overreaction Buff. You'll find us. But I don't think I've got anything else. My voice is gone from the football game. I meant to say that earlier, but
why is your face so red?
Cold in the wind. This is what happens.
And so, Irish.
I thought it's because you were Irish.
It's because I'm Irish.
Wind and Irish.
Yeah, this is pretty much what happens at every cold football game and warm, hot football game where the Suns beat me in the face. But
do you have a shillelagh?
I don't even know what that is. Why is John's face now so red? Like, what's happening right now?
That's such a great word.
I am getting us out of here for not for John. I don't speak for John or Jerry anymore. For Joe Miller, Bills Mafia numero uno. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Go Bills.
Go Bills. Much love. Go Bills.
Oh, dear Jesus. Go Bills.